Good evening, I'm Ryan Jilts, and this is your Barbados Today evening update for Tuesday, October 3rd. Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs Chris Sinclair is conceding that the economy will not grow by 2% this year. In fact, he says given the impact of government's tight fiscal program, growth will no likely be more than within the order of 0.5% and 0.7% in 2017, which is in keeping with the forecast being made by the International Monetary Fund.
Of course, because we have such a tight fiscal program, demand is going to be constrained, and once demand is constrained in an economy like Barbados, it is likely that growth is going to come back. We don't think that is going to be as significant as some people are pointing out, as much as 1 and 1.5%. We believe it would be about 0.5 to 0.7%, so we wouldn't get 2% growth as was originally predicted at the beginning of the year before there was this budget. We're likely to get anywhere between 1.5 to 1.7. I think that's where the central bank and the others are projecting it, but we'll wait and see how that comes out. In terms of the fiscal, as I say, we continue to monitor it. We seem to be on track, but we have to ensure that we keep the expenditures under control, because that's the other point. People only look at the revenue side, we have to look at the expenditure side. And things come up from time to time that are unexpected and that you have to make provision for. So we're hoping that we can keep those done now.
Striking workers at the state-owned Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation will be back on the job tomorrow in a show of good faith ahead of pay talks between their bargaining agent, the Barbados Workers Union, and the management of the corporation. That meeting is scheduled for 10 a.m. at the CBC's Pine headquarters. Consultant to the General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, Sir Roy Trotman, told Barbados Today that the union has had a change of heart, even though they still remain disappointed by the apparent lack of priority which the matter has received.
We think that it is a source of great disappointment that faster action was not taken. We also are disappointed that we were not told by the minister when she wrote us that she was not going personally to be present and involved in those discussions. But the Office of Minister of Labour will be involved, and we have no fear about our own confidence, and we have respect for the person who, as we understand it, will be chairing those meetings in the person of Senator Husbands. As a measure of good faith, we think that we will resume work.
Incumbent opposition Barbados Labour Party candidate Santia Bradshaw should take home the St. Michael's South East seat by a wider margin when the defection of her former opponent Patrick Tannis from the ranks of the Democratic Labour Party. Political scientist Dr. George Bell further believes that the base of the BLP will be strengthened with the addition of the pastor, who came within 10 votes of taking the constituency when the elections were held back in 2008. He was speaking to Barbados Today following last Sunday's announcement by Tannis that he was back home to help the BLP secure the next government.
If the present trend in which a party has been involved in considerable negative policies has an impact on the electorate, which we wouldn't want to the election, of course, then it is reasonable, though, to conclude that this should be reflected in the behavior of the electorate. And therefore, the fact that Mr. Tannis got 10 votes short of Santia last time is not necessarily going to be repeated this time, because the swing is likely to be towards her and not towards the opposing party, which is the ruling regime. So I think if we take those things into account, it is first of all that the base from which her opponent is coming is very fluid, and that her chances ought to improve.
Police and transport authorities are investigating 2 separate videos circulating on social media involving reckless behavior showcased by public service vehicle operators. Within the last 2 weeks, the videos have been making the rounds, the first showing a route taxi racing through the river terminal with its conductor hanging through the door of the vehicle while prostrate to the cheers of onlookers. In the second, a packed minivan, packed to capacity with at least 3 persons on the outside as the bus moved along its Christchurch route. Director of the Barbados Transport Authority, Alex Linton, tells Barbados Today that a halt should be placed on such practices which are illegal and seeks to endanger commuters.
If the public sees things like this, I would prefer that they contact the Transport Authority We have a hotline, and we have emails. You can call us at 435-3518 and let us know what you see, and you can send us footage by email and whatnot. So I would prefer it come to us instead of circulating through the media. Let us deal with it where we can take action. The second thing is, these things are against the law. If you look in the law, you're only supposed to carry X amount of passengers. And overcrowding is dangerous, it's unsafe, and we really need to desist from these practices.
Interim Chairman of the Association of Private Transport Operators, Morris Lee, has also condemned the actions of all involved and has called on the relevant authorities to reprimand the various perpetrators. In fact, Lee stated that such persons should be placed against the law courts if found guilty.
No kind of recklessness or indiscipline or misbehavior by any PSV, whether it be a minibus or ZR, requires no defense of any kind. And that's the position that myself and the association have maintained for years. There are laws on the statute books that more or less are in place to govern that kind of behavior. That kind of behavior should never be condoned by owner, operator, passenger, or law enforcement officer. So as far as I'm concerned, those individuals that have participated in that behavior need swiftly to be brought before the authorities, and whatever action has to be taken has the support of the association.
Meantime, Police Public Relations Officer Inspector Roland Cobbler says the force will continue to enforce the laws as it relates to public service operators who continue to breach the law with no regard for life. It was a solemn affair as family and well-wishers today bade farewell to one-month-old Caden DaCosta Greenwich in an intimate funeral service held at the Ebenezer Seventh-day Adventist Church in Eden Lodge. Caden passed away on September 13th at the state-run Queen Elizabeth Hospital after his parents were summoned to collect him from the Divine Day Nursery, where he had been looked after. Today, his parents, Petra Rouse and Silverson Greenwich, remained composed throughout the 45-minute service. There was no eulogy, but Pastor Winston Cook, in delivering a brief message, told those gathered to try to be more childlike. Seeking to comfort the grieving family, he reminded them that God was a very present help in times of trouble, and that weeping may endure for the night, but joy cometh in the morning. Caden was interred at the Westbury Cemetery.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Morning, Miss Oya.
Morning. You again. So you're washing cars now? Well, I can't keep up with you at all.
Yes, girl, you know they've got provision to selling slow. And I don't sell nation newspapers at all because them don't sell. So I washing cars now. I like to get up before 8:30 because I can't take the hot sun. You want the car wash?
No, not today. It clean.
But you're going in very early though?
Yeah, I just going early so I can read the Barbados today online before work starts.
Right. But you can still let me clean the window for the $2. At least it's still cheaper than the nation newspaper.
All right.
I got a special boo here that I got it shining. Thank you. Enjoy your day here.
You too.
All right. What that paper is? She can see clearly when the dirt is gone.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Prime Minister Dr. Gonsalves has refuted claims by some that his government is taking a nonchalant attitude with the recent spate of crime in that country. Gonsalves, who is also responsible for national security, said it is important that the police be given the space to do their work and that it is unproductive for him to comment on every incident of crime in the country. And further afield, Spain's King Philip VI has condemned the organizers of Catalonia's independence referendum for having put themselves outside the law. In a TV address to the nation, he said the situation in Spain was extremely serious and called for unity.
Unfortunately, we have arrived at a stage where the situation in Catalonia is fractured, where the authorities have shown disrespect to all Spanish people. This could even put at risk the security and stability of Spain. All of this has culminated in an unacceptable attempt by the Catalonian authorities to put themselves outside the law and outside democracy.
Thousands in Catalonia have been protesting over Spanish police violence during Sunday's vote, during which nearly 900 people were hurt. The central government in Madrid has also described the referendum as illegal. And that's news. For the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Ryan Gilts. Continue to enjoy your evening.